One of the skills I've picked up as a coach that I value the most is being very attentive to the words I use, how I speak. We're talking about the book, The 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, and the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. What does that mean? Impeccable means to meet the highest standard. And he describes be impeccable with your word as not using your word against yourself. I'm going to give you 3 simple ways to observe this. The first is, how do you describe yourself? That's an easy way to use your word against yourself. If you complete this sentence, I am blank. Most people will complete that sentence with criticisms or judgments. Oftentimes it will be I am not, and then there's a whole list of things that they wish they were. But what if you shift those around? And instead of taking the negative angle, take the positive angle. Here's a little example. I'm currently in the process of training for a half marathon. It's the longest I've ever run in my whole life. And I could say, I'm not a runner. I'm not in good shape. I'm struggling to run the number of miles that I need to run every day. That is one perspective that I could bring. But I could also bring the perspective of I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm stretching myself as a runner. As a person, I'm doing something bold and adventurous that I've never done before. And I'm getting better and better with each day that I go out for a run and each week that goes by. Same situation, 2 totally different perspectives. And which one is more empowering? Which one is impeccable with your word? The second thing I want to share about that is how you use your words towards other people. And there's a section here in this book that I want to share with you about that. He says, if I see you in the street and I call you stupid, it appears that I'm using the word against you. But really, I'm using my word against myself, because you're going to hate me for this, and your hating me is not good for me. Therefore, if I get angry and with my word send all that emotional poison to you, I'm using my word against myself. Makes sense. What we put out comes back to us. So if we're putting out judgment and criticism and negativity, that's going to come back to us. So that's the second thing you can do, is to pay attention about how you're speaking to other people and not gossip, for example. Many of us are so tempted to talk about other people when they're not present. What if you didn't do that? What if you didn't use your word against yourself in that way? The third thing I want to share with you about this is how powerfully our words are a reflection of the beliefs and the agreements that we've made with ourselves. So back to the running example. If I'm using words that say I'm not good at this and I'm slow and I don't have the discipline to carry through, or even if I just say it's a struggle to get out and run every week. All of those things are telling a story about an agreement I've made with myself about my experience. Well, what if I don't want to make an agreement of struggle? What if I want to make an agreement instead of empowerment? Instead of focusing on the times that I've struggled to get out the door, what if I focus on the times that I've successfully gotten out the door and gone for a run? So how we shift our focus and listening to our words, listening to the words we're using, those will reflect the agreements that we have made with ourselves. So I love this. This is super, super rich. There is so much here. And even Don Miguel Ruiz describes this first agreement as the foundational one, to be impeccable with your word. So take this week and notice, what is it that you're thinking? What is it that you're saying? What are the words you're using? And see if you can shift those to be something a little bit more empowering for you.